Okay, it's been weeks of me putting off doing this video. So without further ado, I'm not even gonna provide any excuses or give an introduction. I'm Adrielle. That's the important part. Let's just talk about some books. Okay, so today I wanted to film a video where I talk about basically every book on my shelf that I have not read. Because I have a slight problem. Also, if you see like mist, my humidifier is like right there. So just ignore it. But I have a slight problem when it comes to book buying. I'm on a slight book buying ban right now, so you don't have to worry about that. But let's just get started. Where should we start? It's a bit of a... I don't even know that much about a lot of these books, so I'm just gonna First one is Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zauner. When I picked this up, I didn't know it was a memoir, I think. But yeah, it's the memoir of a lady and her experience with her mother, and I think her mother might have been sick. Yeah, it was her being with her mother through the final excruciating moments of her battle with cancer. And that's why I have not read this, because I don't know. Every time I start to read it, I begin to realize that I don't know if I'm emotionally equipped to want to deal with the pain this book is probably going to give me. So I've not read it yet, even though I've had it for about a year. Next is a big departure from the last book we were just discussing, and that is A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. I've read one of his other books. It's called I read The Power of Now, and now I want to read this one because I'm really always into like books that are going to help me become a better version of myself, or learn how to look at life in a new way, or just, you know, books that involve me being my highest self. I enjoy books like that, so I try to read them. It's been a minute since I read one though, honestly, but I want to get back on it. So next in this stack, in no particular order, is Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo, the sequel to Ninth House, which I read ages ago. I actually because I read Ninth House the year it came out, which, if you know anything about the book, you know it was some years ago now. Still haven't read the sequel because it took the sequel a while to come out, but I still haven't gotten to it. And I just bought this a few weeks ago. I didn't even have it. Like, it wasn't even on my shelf. But this is probably going to be one of the next books that I read, to be honest with you. This next book I have had on my shelf. It's got to be close to like 4 years. 3 or 4. And that is An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. I honestly have no exact reason why I've not read this book. I kind of just feel like when I bought this book, I thought I would really like it. And the older I've gotten, the less I enjoy books like basically what I've heard this is about. But I don't know. I might try it, decide that I do like it. I'm going to give it a try. So every book here, I'm going to give a try. I'm not going to get rid of any of these. But we'll see. I'll get to it. This next one is a book. I read the first one. I loved it. I have no specific reason why I didn't finish this one. I just haven't. And I started it, but like I said, I didn't finish. And that is A Psalm of Storms and Silence by Roseanne A. Brown. I adored her first book. I think it was A Song of Race and Ruin. I adored that book, and this one came out, and the cover is gorgeous, and the first cover is also gorgeous. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't read this one immediately. I have no idea. I don't have a good excuse, because this first book, like, it was on... I did ages ago a video of like my favorite books of all time. The first book in this series was in that video, and so you'd think I would be like really excited to start the second one. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I think that was probably around the time when I like burned out on fantasy books and I was just kind of tired of them. That's my only excuse, and that's also the reason why I think I never got to the next book on this list, which is The Burning God by R.F. Kuang. I adore R.F. Kuang. I've read everything she's ever written, every novel she's ever published, I should say, except this one. I've read Yellowface, I've read Babel, I've read the other 2 books in this series. This is the final book in the Poppy War trilogy. I have not read it yet, and it's been on my shelf for probably just about as long as An Ember in the Ashes. So hopefully this year I'll be able to get to this book. No promises. Next on the list is a big book. It's big. Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson. I love the Stormlight Archive. This is the 4th book in the Stormlight Archive series. I love these books, and they've been heavy on my mind lately. So that tells me, I realize right now I just forgot a book. Hold up. But that tells me that I need to probably start reading them again, because these books have been on my mind lately. Okay, the book that was on my shelf that I forgot that I had not read is A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon. The same author who wrote, I don't know if you're familiar, but The Priory of the Orange Tree. It was also on my favorite books of all time video. I love this author's writing. She has another book, I think it's called The Bone Season. Have not read it, but I love her writing, her world building, her character development. I love it. So I have no excuse as to why I've not read this book yet. I got it the day it came out. I was one of the first people in the bookstore. And then I proceeded to hold on to it for years and not read it. But we'll get there. We will get there. This next book, I don't even remember buying it, but I haven't read it, so it's in this video. The Ruin of Kings by Jen Lyons. I think that's how you say your name. I don't know what this book is about. I don't know what this book is about. I think it's about like it's about a guy who's a long lost prince, and it's got something to do with dragons, I think. And yeah, that's all I know. That's all I know. That's all I really want to know. Honestly, I'll get it whenever I start reading it. Finally, I'll know. Oh, and this next book I've been excited about since I saw the title. I just have no excuse why I haven't read it yet. When Women Were Dragons by Kelly Barnhill, the same author who wrote The Girl Who Drank the Moon. This book seems so good. Basically thousands of women become dragons and like leave a trail of fiery destruction. I'm not even gonna say it, but like, I'm really excited to read this book. Okay, and the next one is a classic, and that is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I don't even know what possessed me to buy this book. I don't remember buying it. In fact, I do remember buying it because that specific day I said I'm gonna go in the bookstore and get a poetry collection, and I came out with The Secret History. So what do you know? Sometimes a plan doesn't come together, but I'll read it at some point, I promise. Okay, the second book, honestly, is the second book in a series that I really enjoyed the first one. It's just I can't ever see myself finishing this series, but we'll see. Time might change that. And that's Royal Assassin, the second book in the series by Robin Hobb, the second book in her series. The first one's called Assassin's Apprentice. This one's called Royal Assassin. So yeah, I don't even remember what those books are about, but I know it's about a main character named Fitz, and he has this special ability. I can't even remember what it's called, you guys. It's been years. It's ridiculous to not know. And then the last thing that I have but have not read is 3 books because it's more Brandon Sanderson. This is the Mistborn trilogy, obviously 1, 2, and 3. I bought them all together in like one thing. It was $30. Just little mass market paperbacks. I started the first one. I did not finish it. I had a little fantasy burnout, but I'm gonna get there. I promise I'm gonna read every book that I showed to you today. And I also like to have a lot of books on my shelf that I've not read, because then whenever I want to read, I can just at any point get up and walk to my bookshelf and go, what do I want to read today? It's like a library. It's like a bookstore. You just never know what you're gonna find over there. It's exciting. It's like a little, it honestly is like a little library or bookstore. So that's how the video ends. Yeah, see y'all next time. Maybe. Bye.